What's poppin', my people? You already know what this is. It's on the Lockout. And sure, I'm happy to be here recording, doing what I love to do best. Today, this part of the show, we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about prison, a sentence. But in this case, it's the news, right? This dude in Oklahoma gets sentenced to 15 years the other day. Or about a week ago or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But bottom line is, he gets arrested and he takes a plea for something he didn't even know what was going on really. And he takes a plea of 15 years. And in the news, they stating that this happens on the regular basis. Now, leave in the comments, because I answer back all comments myself on the spot, or I get right to it as soon as I get a chance. Leave in the comments if you know this happens often, or if it's ever happened to you. It happened to me, and I'm gonna try to get into that towards the end, right? So this dude gets sentenced to 15 years, and then they throw out the case. They overturned the case and they released this man after he just got sentenced for 15 years. And he was like, I was telling y'all all along what it was. But bear with me 1 second. Y'all already know what part is this. Boop, because I don't know what's going on unless I put these on. Boop. And we want to stay focused, you heard? Facts. So we want to stay in tune with what's going on. You feel me? There we go. Hold up, something else missing. Boop. Okay. Now I'm feeling better. Ah, yes. Whoa. So check this out, because I don't want to be wrong, and I'm not too much into reading from things, but I'm reading this from my phone. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you, but check this out. Oklahoma police officer had tried to stop him for a traffic violation. Boom. In August while riding a bike, but he fled. Right? The police said this. When they caught up to him, they discovered he had a plastic baggie full of a large amount of white powder substance. Wow. So the police at that moment, you already know, he's like, bingo, got him. You feel me? He's open. He's like, yo, I got a big one, Joey. Check this out, dude. It's lit. This dude is going down. I'm going to get a promotion, man. Right? Psych. So check it out. It's coming back, my voice. So soon I'll be Scooby-Dooing them, right? So check it out. When they caught up with him, right, they discovered the white baggie. One of the officers failed. No, my bad. Let me tell you, I'm from Brooklyn. Bear with me, guys. All right, one of the officers field tested the substance, and it tested positive for cocaine. Wow. That's wrong, bro. It tested positive for cocaine. Wow. Possession of 45.91 grams of that white powder, you heard? So he was held on $50,000 bond, court records showed, right? But a lab test done on the substance nearly 2 months later determined that it was not an illegal drug. Wow. The court records said, right, that they requested to have his plea withdrawn. The judge granted Thursday in the best interest of justice after negative lab reports, the record said. Wow. Wow. He told the judge that the powder in question was powder milk he had gotten from a food pantry. So this man gets powder milk from a pantry, bro. the pantry where they give you stuff and the whole line be packed. There be a few of those in the hood. So, leave in the comments if you ever been to a pantry or if you know about a pantry around your way, because they like almost in every hood. The pantry people said. Bottom line is, I know the feeling, man. And leave in the comments if you know the feeling to be arrested or go through the system or do time or whatever like that for something that you didn't do. It's crazy. How could that happen? And it happens so much here in the United States. It happens so much. So many people going to Rikers Island. Rikers Island is full with guys and girls that didn't commit the crime. But guess what? We learn from a very early age that you better cop out. That's where I'm getting to with this, right? That you better cop out, because when you go to trial, and I went to trial a few times because I was hard-headed, like I'm not copping out. Whether I did it or not, I'm like, I'm going to the preliminary hearings. They got to show me the videotape. You know what I mean? And even if it's me, I'm like, bro, that's not me. You're bugging. You know what I mean? So this happens so much to people, and it's sad. So we learn at an early stages of when we start getting locked up and going through that crazy life, that they offer you something light. Take it, because you're going to lay up anyway, probably longer, when you could get out right now. Sometimes they offer you time served, and you walk out the door right now, and all they want is that conviction so they could look good, so they could get promotion, so they could move up in the world. And no one cares about the person that stays with this record, with this criminal history, that has to endure this pain, and that it's even hard for you to prosper in this cold world that we live in. It's bad enough we have to deal with the fact that we come from where we come from, right? Our background, our race, our color, right? And then they want to put something else on us. And at times it wasn't even you. You see, I did a lot of things in my life, but I really, really felt bad and hurt when I didn't, and I got locked up. And it was like, bro, I swear to God, like this time I didn't do it. But no one will believe you because your MO was that already. So they good for that, like snatching you up, but his MO says this is what he does, right? And in court, and I said this, I think, in one of my lives before, is who could tell the best lie? Who's going to lie the best? It's never about the truth, right? Because the DA that works there is just out to like bash you, like you no good, you're a threat to society, you're persistent, you've been arrested so many times. The jury is, who could persuade that jury is a fact. Persuades like just another word for lie. Who could lie the best to the jury? Who's going to be the best storyteller? Whose story is going to sound believable? That they'll buy it and be like, you know what? I take his side. I co-side with him. I feel what he was saying. And this happens too many times, guys. And something needs to be done about this. And I know that, hey, this has been going on for centuries, for hundreds of years probably. And that maybe just you one of those people that feel like us just talking about it is not going to change anything, right? But at least you tried. At least that you had a voice and that you didn't let your voice just go to waste. Like you saw something that you could have talked about and make people more aware, because not everyone is aware of this. Like the hood, the gutter, the slums, the people that have been incarcerated, the people that had interactions, with the law, with the court system. We're aware. But there's a whole different world out there that feels like, oh, well, he got arrested. He must have did something, He must have done it. They don't just lock you up for nothing. Well, yes, they do. Sorry to tell you, buddy, they do lock you up for nothing. Especially in the city of New York City. Every day this happens. It's a quota. They got to meet that quota. They got to fill that that bus up, and it's sad because there's a lot of innocent. You ever sat in a van, in a paddy wagon, in a DT van or whatever? I have plenty of times while they trying to meet their quota, and you just in there and they just snatching people up, and you can see how they setting these people up. Him right there with the orange hat, him right there with the orange shirt. Yeah, grab him. You know, and they might find something on him, and there's another dude with him, and if he got 20, you know, it's 10 and 10. Y'all figure it out over there. Explain it to the judge. You know, because they're trying to meet a quota. That's sad, you know, and I've been in those predicaments, you know. Rest in peace to my friend Aloe, you know, but again, I said this way back. I touched on the story real light. Aloe, allegedly, right, had committed a crime, and the police ran upstairs, and I was in the shower, and it just so happens that I had shaved up all my hair into a Caesar, like a super low cut with a half a moon. This was back in the days, like in the 90s. And I'm in the bathroom, actually, with Aloe's sister, because she was my ex at the time, right? And, I mean, she's my ex. She was my girl at the time. Duh. So what happens is it looked like if I did the crime, I ran upstairs, cut my hair, jumped in the shower, tried to clean the hair off, and they caught me in the bathroom. You get it? Of course, my mom's, the genius, lets them right in. You know, moms, you know, a dude's moms is always paranoid of the police. They don't do nothing wrong. They don't want nothing to do with the law. They just follow whatever the police says. He said, open the door. You know, they trust everybody. So, and I get it, whatever, you know, but I got arrested that time, bro. And of course, my mother in Spanish was telling me, you better tell them it was Alberto, you know, and I wasn't going to do that. As young as I was, I knew that was wrong to say that it was Aloe, right? Like, that had to come from him. And I kind of sort of had faith that he was going to show up to the precinct and be like, yo, he had nothing to do with that. That was me, right? And the person, when they put me by this, and I lived in a long stairways, like going up on 44th Street and 4th, right? And Sunset Park, right? Sunset Park. I am from Brooklyn, Sunset Park. I'm not from the Bronx. I'm not from Harlem. I'm not from Jamaica, Queens. I lived in all these boroughs and places, as sad as it may be. I've moved around. I'm not from Gun Hill Road. I lived there. I'm not from 106 and Park Avenue. I'm not from Carver Projects. I lived there years ago, right? I lived in these places. But I'm born and raised in Sunset Park, 44th Street and 4th Avenue. Facts. So, again, my birth certificate says place of birth, Brooklyn County, Kings County, County of Kings, whatever, however you want to say it. Bottom line, anyway, I get arrested. Aloe never shows up, right? So I never say nothing. But the person from up there, they like, was it him? And they like, the person's like, yeah, it was him. Like, I committed this robbery, right? And it wasn't me. But they figured out while because I said I wanted to go to grand jury and all that. So while they setting all that up, of course, a lot of times when you say, I want to go to the grand jury, I want to go to preliminary, I want to go to pre-trial hearings, they start putting together that maybe he got us. And now they start offering you things like time served. They want to let you go, right? Because they effed up. So in this case, what happened with me with Aloe was that they said, listen, we're going to release you because the person didn't even know where they was at. They didn't take their medication. And, you know, with all respects, there was one flew over the cuckoo's nest. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, cool. So I was released, you know, and they're like one of those things that never happen. If nobody calls you, then the case is dismissed within 90 days or something like that. If I remember right, this was a lot of years ago. And shout out to those people that say, yo, how you be talking about the early 90s, 91, 92, 93 or whatever? If you look so young, you look like a kid. Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate it. But Warpath, could probably be your father. I have kids that could go legally and drink at a bar. That's all I have to say. People always say, yo, how old are you? Who sent you? The feds? You want my address? And people do say that. Like, you know what? Yo, where you from? Where you live at? Where you at right now while I'm live? Like, are you serious? Are you not hearing my story or watching the other videos where I say that I was doing foul things out there? Like, I was the biggest dirtbag there is. Today, I'm not living like that. But I was the biggest sleazebag there is. I would do anything to anybody. Whether it was, you know, a stick up, run off with a pack, kick their door down, running, tie everybody up, whatever I had to do to get to that bag, I was doing that day. You know, and it's never glorifying, it's never showing off, it's never to portray the gangster. It's to tell a story, right? My story, and a message of hope that if I could change, anybody that's going through these situations could change. And if we don't change, then we can work on change, right? And we could become a better person. And then maybe it'll rub off on somebody that you know, someone that you may inspire, someone that may look up to you. It might rub off on your kid that may be doing something wrong. And it may help your own family not do the things that you've been through in life because they don't want to end up like you. They don't want to be like War. You know, they don't want to be telling a story or going to jail back to back from when you was a kid, right? So, shout out to homeboy that got released, man. The guy that got caught with that, and it's unfortunate for him. Hopefully he'll be all right, you know. And those things won't happen to him no more. He's only 26 years old. So you already know he's definitely putting in that lawsuit. Ain't no even talking about that. Cody Greg, G-R-E-G-G. He's 26 years old, man. Oklahoma. It's crazy. Oklahoma police ain't playing. Y'all doing people like that? Doing them dirty. Jesus Christ, with all them grams, and then to say that it came out positive and it wasn't. Well, you know what? To be real, one time, and if homeboy ever sees this, man, my bad. There was this kid by Hoyt and Skimmerhorn that I met. His name was let's leave his name out of it because we already know we on the tube, so we don't do names. I almost slipped up there. But anyway, we by Hoyt and Skimmerhorn, right? And I tell different stories on this one video because I want you to be entertained. I just don't want to talk about one thing and make it about just that for 5 minutes. Watch the video, the algorithm pops, and we good. No. So I want you that if you want to hear stories, I want you to hear them. So I'm back. I never went nowhere. I've been doing lives. I always did lives back to back. I always wore sunglasses for those of you that are wondering. I always wore like a lot of Chicago hats, and I see everybody doing it, and it's cool because it is what it is. But just had to point that out. And I wanted to thank everybody that's been showing love to the channel. All the new subscribers, welcome. When we say Lockout Gang, we don't mean gang like an actual street gang. We mean like a notification gang. Because somebody said, you keep saying there's not a gang channel. It's not a gang channel. But you how you say, like you're promoting Lockout Gang. Bro, it's the whole difference between gang as a family like here. Because we also, if you notice, I put Lockout Gang / Lockout Fam. So it's the notification gang. Like how could you be, bro? But anyway. With that being said, I'm at Guana's. I meet this kid. He wants to buy 62, right? A 62. So I gave him starch, straight up flour. Could you believe that he went, and I'm like, yo, you got to break out quick because he gives me all the bread. He goes home. He tests it, and he's like, yo, you know that's like it came back positive, but it's like a synthetic. But I could still get rid of it because I was doing it and I was up all night. And I'm like, wow, bro, that's crazy. I was like, maybe and I don't encourage no one do this at home. No one go buy a lot of starch, put it together and try to hustle. This is a story, right? My true story, in hopes that we can help people not do the things I've done. And we got to repeat that over and over again when we talk about things like this because it gets crazy, right? So when he said that he was still, you know, he wanted it, he didn't have a problem, he wasn't beefing, he wasn't mad or nothing, I was like, bro, maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe I need to start selling starch. You know, that it comes in a little yellow thing with a top, It's like a corn on it or whatever. It's cornstarch, facts. So with that being said, I forgot all about that up to right now. Like a lot of things happen that I forget about, and I think about them as I'm talking. Like I put everything together on my equipment, and I'm like, what am I gonna talk about right now? Because I like to just record and post right there, like if it's alive, right? Excuse me. And I decided that I'm gonna be posting back to back. So I said, let me tell this story that I read about the guy because I found that crazy. So, and that happens so often, and that needs to change. You know, hopefully one day it would, where they just want to give you these pleas. Meanwhile, the judge or somebody feeling their heart like it wasn't you, like the story don't match, but nobody really cares. All they care about is that conviction. And now in the news, under that dude's name and on Google News, all over the news, it says that this happens way too often, that something needs to be done about this. Now they saying like something big needs to be done about this. You know, but shout out to him, man, and shame on them police, shame on the lab reports, shame on the people that work on the lab, and shout out to the ones that retested it and found out that it wasn't what the police was saying it was, and that man was able to be released, right? Rest in peace to Aloe. I love you. I miss you. Just wanted to touch on that news real quick. Leave in the comments how you feel about that. Has it ever happened to you or anyone that you know? I answer back all comments. Stay tuned. More content coming. Maybe as soon as you wake up, it'll be there. Who knows? There's on the lockout. Thank you for tuning in. Just wanted to make sure everything is working properly. So when I start dropping this content, so we got into some news, I might start doing that like at least once a week. Don't know yet. Y'all already know Golden Culture with a K, dropping videos there back to back. Maybe tomorrow also. We going in. This is on the lockout. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Warpath. I love y'all. Lockout fam for life.